Jermire, we're in Chicago. You're homeless. Tell me about it.
First off, what I can say about being homeless is it's not a good feeling. You know, part of being homeless is being lonely, and that's one of the worst feelings in the world for me. And I can say for anyone else. Being homeless in Chicago, is life learned experiences. You learn things out here. And I'm glad that I can make it through the bad things that was happening out here in Chicago, being homeless. But it's not a good lifestyle. And I'm 19. I can really say, stay in school, focus, and reach for something. Stay focused. Don't get thrown off track. With trying to live a rough lifestyle, because when you actually live it, it's not pretty. And being homeless, man, it's just a hard struggle. Seeing everyday people homeless that's older than you, you think like, how can I make it out? So, yeah.
How long were you out on the streets?
I've been homeless since I was 13.
What was your first day like?
My first day of being homeless, I remember like it was yesterday. It wasn't a pretty sight. Me, it was like, I seen it coming because, I never had my parents in my life. I was raised by, just different people, all the time, never understood, why things was going on. But me being homeless, really gave me a wake-up call to life. I'm a senior in high school still, I'm finna push it out, graduate May 27th.
Good for
And,
you.
I can really much say, my experience being homeless was, it wasn't great, but hey, if I can do it over again, I wouldn't change anything because I learned a lot, even through the bad things that happened out here in the streets of being homeless. My first day being homeless was very hard. Didn't understand anything what was going on. And, turned to the streets, when I got homeless because, hey, I never had anything in my life, so I tried to make a way.
Yeah. So now you're going to school,
Yes, sir.
and you're going to school homeless.
Yes, sir.
I mean, how do you make that happen? I mean, because you ain't popular. At school's all about being popular. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And homelessness ain't popular.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I give you credit, man. I mean, huge props, man. That's huge.
thanks. But, going to school and being homeless, I was on varsity since freshman year. I go to Proviso East in Maywood, shout that out. But, I was really popular, though, and kids didn't really find out that I was homeless until my last year, which was this year.
Because you don't tell them, right?
No, sir. But,
Oh.
being homeless at school, like it's a good feeling. Like, I don't know how crazy that may sound, but it is because it shows you how different you are from other kids. Kids that have their mother and father, at least one parent at home that's caring for them, and they still have somewhere to go. So like I said, being homeless, going to school, it was hard. It was a hard struggle. Some days I didn't eat, sleeping outside. I mean, it was hard. Don't get me wrong, I cried, but at the same time, all of that made me a man, and I'm glad that I'm the person that I am today. And that, like that, being homeless and going to school build character, shows your character, shows you who you are. Have a strong mind out here, These streets ain't nothing to play with in Chicago, and yeah.
So what's your future like? I mean, if you can survive high school homeless, man, you can do anything.
Well, I just started settling it down, thinking about my future and where I want to go and where do I see myself in 5 years. Where I see myself in the future, being somewhere, owning something, not selling it for less, striving for more, just pushing it out to the end, because, hey, there's only one way out, and that's to die. And I think I'm not scared of doing that anyway. I think I done been through the worst out here in Chicago being homeless, so.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
Oh, man, 3 wishes. That sounds good, but 3 wishes for me, to have more shelters like Solid Ground in Chicago for youth, because that did change my way of thinking and my style to life, in the way I look at life. Because without Solid Ground, I was really like, hey, whatever. But now I'm here, learn more, focus, a good place to be, rather than the streets. So my first wish to have, a lot of solid grounds in throughout Chicago and throughout a lot of homeless places. And second wish, you know, to be successful so I can come back and help people, you know, that's in my situation, or at least talk to them and let them know, like, don't ever give up, you know. Third wish, man, my third wish, you know, I give it to someone that need it.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you.